As conservatives, most Republicans out here do not like big government. So how would you restrict big government?
Yeah, so I tell people all the time that my role going to Congress isn't necessarily to write new legislation. Now, I will tell you that when I do write new legislation, I plan on repealing bad legislation. But the way that I look at it is our government's big enough. We don't need new legislation. So the thing that is so bass backwards, if you will, just want to keep it clean.
Right.
It's so bass backwards, if you will, is the fact that when I go to Congress, my salary is $174,000 a year. Do you know how much a state representative makes here in Texas?
7.
A little over 7,000 a year, not a month.
Yeah, about $600 a month.
It's crazy. and then the main priority of the federal government is two things. It's to secure our borders, but it's also to protect our unalienable God-given rights. And I want to specify God-given, not government-given. And so if that's their two primary jobs, why does Congress have to be in session so long? Why do they get paid so much? And why are they making more? So we're a nation not with states, we're a nation of states. So tell me why the federal government has so much power to where we have states like Texas that we're on the brink of losing our sovereignty. And which when that happens, we've lost our personal liberties. And so my primary agenda and the way that I plan on restricting big government, the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to make sure that when I go to Congress, I am going to look every single quote unquote Republican in the eye that's not acting and voting like a Republican. And I'm going to ask them how it feels to be a traitor to the district that elected them to represent them as a conservative. Then I'm going to expose their voting records, and I want to make sure that I'm working with the type of Republicans that actually have conservative voting records. We're talking about people like Jim Jordan. We're talking about people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. We're talking about Chip Roy, right? We're talking about conservatives that whenever you go look up their Liberty score on Conservative Review, they're in the 90s. Right? So I want to work with them. Second thing that I want to do is I'm going to be coming back to the district. So I'm only going to be in D.C. As much as or as little as I need to be. I want to be there to do my job, to make sure I'm representing the people, but then I'm going to be right back here in the district. And what I've said from the very beginning is I'm going to be holding workshops, exposing exactly what goes on behind the curtain, because that's something that the regular citizen needs to know. And I look at it like this. So John told me one time, he's like, man, don't you think that's going to put a target on your back? And I'm like, I'm a conservative. I already have a target on my back. And we're literally at this place right now where people have for so long have valued leisure over liberty. And if we don't get to the place where we're willing to do whatever it takes to restore liberty, because I don't believe at this point we have liberty and we have freedom. I believe it's an illusion. And so we have got to get to this place where we're willing to give our life if need be. And there's different ways to do that. Some serve in the military. Some people were given other gifts, talents, and abilities, and the ability to do that. And so we need to rally people together to actually start giving a crap about what goes on in this country and get rid of the apathy. The third thing that I want to do is let me see, what did I say there? So there were three things. Bear with me here. Just had a brain fart. I think that means me taking a sip of this. Yeah. Boo. There was one other thing, I had a brain fart.
So when you talk of liberty, define liberty for me.
Less government. So I'll put it to you this way. So our founding fathers, they based the laws of our nation on the laws of the Old Testament. Mm-hmm. All of the laws of the Old Testament can be taken back to the Ten Commandments. So David Barton, he talked about the law of liberty, and the moral law, right, which is where most of our laws come from. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not commit adultery. That, like, you follow these 10 commandments, these 10 laws, keep you out of jail. But the federal government, we have over 10,000 laws on the books. You break just one of these, it'll put you in jail. That's not liberty.
Right.
So, I believe that we have an unalienable right to three things: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Life comes first. If we don't value life, which is our most basic inalienable right, then we can't truly value liberty. And we have liberty so long as we're not infringing or jeopardizing the life, liberty, and property of others. And so, to me, that's liberty. The ability to be able to pursue happiness, to be able to pursue your dreams, the American dream, without the federal government's involvement and with the least amount of government involvement as possible. And so, and I'm a laissez-faire free market guy. You know, I believe that you ought to be able to start a business and not have the government stick their nose in your business. I believe that that as a business owner,
Good luck with
luck
that.
with that,
yeah. But I believe that as a business owner, that whenever you serve the marketplace, because businesses exist to solve problems. If you're not solving a problem, your business won't exist. Now, those problems might not be problems for some, but they're problems for others. But businesses exist to solve problems. And the free market will regulate itself if we allow the companies that don't serve their clients, that don't serve the market, if they're allowed to fail, then the companies that treat their employees great, that respect liberty, that also serve their customers, they'll be allowed to the cream will be allowed to rise to the top, if you will. And so that's liberty. It's the ability to live your life however you want, so long as it doesn't infringe on the life, liberty, and property of others.